Greetings to all my brothers and sisters out there, to all the YouTubers that's watching this channel. I want to thank you for coming to listen to what Sataguru had to say, which is AKA, you know, Elias name, Lambert C. Davenport. I want to thank you once again. Hotep, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bam, I broke it down. Peace and blessings to everybody. Shalom, you know, basically all the different greetings, bonjour to you, doble kakaste, all of these different greetings I give to all the people who watch my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a few different topics and subjects. If you like to me to go more in depth to the different ones, just leave a comment, and I'll be happy to go into your requests that you want to know about. One of the things that I was looking at and really worry about, but before that, someone want to say something to me. So let's listening to what this person want to say to me. Okay, so we are going to listen to what this person got to say to me. He called me a what? He called me what? This is what he called me.
Bastard. Your Honor, I'd like to ask. You snotty little bastard. Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
He called me
I'd like
a
an answer to the
what?
question.
What he called me again?
You snotty little bastard. Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. You snotty little bastard. Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. You snotty little bastard. Your Honor. You snotty little bastard. Your Honor. You snotty little bastard. You snotty little bastard. You snotty little bastard. Your Honor.
All right, now, since he called me a snotty little bastard, that's all right with me. He called me a snotty little bastard. And the reason why he called me a snotty little bastard is because the snotty little bastard is himself, which is, or as we know, which is Shaitan. He's a very snotty little bastard. However, he calls me a snotty little bastard. It's fine with me because he's like, you don't have everything it takes, but you're a snotty little bastard. Okay, so what are we going to do with a person like that, right? Tell me I can't handle the truth, you can't handle the truth, and a lot of people out there, we can't handle the truth because there's a question, and I like to bring this up. And the question is, and I'm going to use this big board for y'all to see this question. Okay, so here's the question. The question is right here. Okay, the question is assault possible without physical contact? Would that be a yes or no? I put yes. There's something called psychological assault, what we call thought reform. Y'all do the math. You think about that. Have you ever been assaulted? And we think physical assault. There's many different forms of assault. You know what I'm saying? Just like there's many different forms that you can actually, you could actually murder someone. All types of different ways you could do that. And I learned that in the military. Oh, Sprite. No, but let me stop this. I'm not going to win no nominations with that. Well, anyway, So I'm a snotty little bastard, and the reason why I'm a snotty little bastard is because I like to basically understand this person who we call Satan. So we gonna play some things for y'all can hear a few brothers, and I want y'all to listen before I get into my big thing.
Dear and wonderful
We know who
brothers
this is.
and sisters,
This is
with the greeting of love
Farrakhan.
and peace. Assalamu alaikum.
This is talking about the
I want to go
respite me
right
unto
to
the
the
day when they
subject.
rise. It's with Lucifer, what he think about us. So I want y'all to listen to
This
this
subject is taken from
from
the
the Quran.
seventh surah or chapter of the Holy Quran, titled The Elevated Places.
Listen to that, the elevated places.
And it highlights a conversation between Allah, God, and his enemy, the devil, Shaitan, or Iblis. In this conversation, Allah is talking about his creating a man and fashioning him,
This is important, y'all.
and then saying to angels, make submission to the one that I have fashioned and created. And all of them submitted,
Here's racism.
except one.
This is racism right here. This is where
Now,
we
the
get racism.
scholars argue whether Iblis was one of the angels or he was some other person. But if we look at the text carefully, Allah said to the angels, make submission to Adam. So they submitted except Iblis. Now he's addressing angels. And he's saying that everybody else bowed down except one. And then Allah spoke to him and said, what hindered you
Mm, mm.
that you would not submit when I commanded you? Now this is some kind of rebel that God is asking this angel to submit to a creation
Facts.
that he
Facts,
made.
y'all.
And then the angel rebelled.
Mhm.
And so God questioned him, hey, what's up with you? I mean, that's not the way it takes.
Pardon me,
Said,
I
what
have
hindered
allergies.
you that you failed to submit after I commanded you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And listen to his answer. He
Listen.
said, Shaitan, Iblis, I'm better
Mm.
than he.
Think about that. Who says that in the
You
world?
have created me of fire, while him you created of dust. So Allah said, then get forth from this state, for it is not for you to behave proudly therein. Now, whenever God makes a man for you, it is not wise that we behave proudly when we are commanded to make obeisance or to submit to one that God has fashioned for us. There never was a prophet that God sent that the proud and the rebellious, learned intellectuals found some excuse not to bow because God chose a man not from the colleges or universities, not from the scholarship of the world, but he chose a man out of the depth of the people. A man that did not have letters.
All right. So you heard that part, right? You heard that part. Now, let's go into a little bit of minds. All right. So this is going to be pretty much part of the scriptures. Um, in 2 Corinthians 2:11, it goes into, and I'm gonna paraphrase this, use this fast. We would not be unwitting by Satan, for we are not ignorant of his designs. One of the most sobering facts about life is that all humans have a supernatural enemy. Can we agree with that? When I mean by supernatural, we could say super ego. Okay, enemy whose aim is to use pain and pleasure, deceit, lies, and all of that, to make us blind, stupid, and miserable forever. The Bible calls him the devil and Satan. The Quran calls him Iblis or Shaitan. The deceiver of the whole world, the accuser, Revelation calls it from 12:9 to 10. The ruler of this world, John 12:31. Now we have to stop. I know that it says that he's the ruler of this world. But me personally, I can't find that to be as truthful. The reason why, we are created in the image of likeness of the Creator, right? The Creator fashioned this world for us to be Alamins, not this mug. So he don't rule nothing because the Creator is giving us the power to rule. He says that because he's a liar and a cheater. But if you want to believe that he's the ruler of the world, then he does rule you. And you're just playing games, calling yourselves Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindus, you name it, you're playing games with the Creator. And they call him the God of this age. 2 Corinthians 4:4. He is our adversary who prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. 1 Peter 5:8. Yet in most appealing and unwilling bondage, the whole world willingly follows the prince of the power of air, the spirit that is now at works in the sons of disobedience. Ephesians 2:2. At his most successful, his subjects march oblivious to destructions and take as many with them as they can. And this is what we do with, we talk about the white man shooting us or cops shooting us, but black people shoot themselves. Puerto Ricans shoot themselves. White people shoot themselves. Everybody's shooting themselves. And then we do what I call is the Adam and Eve theory. We blame each other except for taking responsibilities and ownership for ourselves. Okay? So therefore we own a self-destructive because we allow our ego to supersede us with fears and envy and distrust and etc. Excuse me. By the way, that is the Willie Lynch thing. Now, and the good warfare, 1 Timothy 1:18 states that I wrote about this under the title Waking at War, includes the daily resistance of this enemy, 1 Peter 5:9, James 4:7, the daily refusal to give him an opportunity. See, and this is the thing we have to do. We have to be awake and at a war. See, we have to have good warfare. You can't step in the ring with this. And this is what Muslims, when they use the word jihad, They're talking about First Timothy's 1 and 18. Don't get it twisted. I know a lot of people out there allow the sons of Satan, okay, to just tell you this wonderful story, but this is what jihad means. No, it doesn't. Jihad means exactly good warfare. First Timothy's 1 and 18. Awake and at war. Daily resistance for enemy, meaning your egos, all of that, including the one you can't see. Right? What does this beast do? God is sovereign over Satyria. We'll be right about that. God is sovereign over everything. The devil does not have a free hand in this world. He's on the leash. So how can he be a ruler? You understand what I'm saying? So that he can do more than God permits. He can't do more than God permits. So he can't be a ruler, right? Uh, See how I get back at you? In effect, he must get permission once again. So whatever's going on in this world, right? It have to be granted permission, meaning it have to be planned, etc. And we have to give it permission, consent. Believe it or not, we give a lot of things consent in this world. We give um, divorces consent. We give uh, lies consent. We give cheating and consent, fornication consent, adultery consent, intoxication consent, rape consent, murder consent. We give all these different things: pride, anger, hatred, you name it, we give it all consent. Okay, we give it consent. And when we give it consent, then it rules over us. Then it becomes the ruler of us. And then within its rule, it accuses us. You know how sometimes you do something wrong and you psychologically beat yourself down? If you understand what I'm saying, hit a one button, hit that subscribe button too. Be nice to the brother, all right, for I could get better and better. Because when you look at certain things, it builds you up, even though I don't need no one to build me up because the Most High is my builder. And when my name is Sataguru, because that means true teacher, I'm not the teacher, but the true teacher is teaching through me. Can I get an amen on that? Because that's how, you know, some people, they know me and I make mistakes because I'm human, right? But how would I even come to the phantom of even talking about what I'm talking about and exposing myself in a sense of what I'm talking about? So once again, we all know that this Satan is not the ruler because he's got to have permission, right? So here we go. Solomon Peter, where Jesus discussed. Solomon, behold, Satan has actually asked to have you, that he might sift you like wheat. That's Luke 22:31. Do y'all understand that? In the case of Job, the Lord said to Satan, behold, Job is in your hand. Only spare his life. Job 2:6, right? And we ask the question, why would he do something like that? Because Satan doesn't even know humans have the creator within them. So it's like you're testing the creator at the same time, even though we're not the creator, but in us is the essence of the creator. That's why the Father has never had forsaken us, never have left us, never has abandoned us. We're the only ones that appear we don't want to listen. You understand? We don't want to listen. So because of pride, ego, stuff, fear, stuff like that, we don't want to listen. We don't want to come to joy, happiness, love, peace, enlightenment. We don't want to do that. We don't want to come to unity. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to come to trust. We want to have distrust. We want to have envy. We want to have jealousy. We want to be uh, uh, blameful. We want to be shameful. We want to have guilt, so we can continue to do the what is called the triangle drama triangle. That's where you have a trinity. You have three things. You have the hero, the villain, and the victim. That's a drama triangle. So this is what Satan does to us too. He puts us in that triangle as well. So evident. So God seeing the ongoing roles of Satan as essential for his purpose in the world. The reason why I say that is you read Isaiah 45:7. It states, if God willed it, Satan will be thrown into the lake of fire now, instead of at the end of the age. He could have did that before he even came to the garden, right? Okay. The devil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire, and he will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Revelations 20:10. And I know a lot of people out there, no, the creator cannot be that ruthless and stuff like that. Well, we do know that the creator, according to legends, according to books and things like that, and we call them spiritual texts, according to them, yes, the creator got down like that. He became Kyle, he became the destroyer, he became this and that. And when I say he, I'm not saying he, I need to say she sometimes, right? Is that okay? I need to say she sometimes, all right? Okay. So in his complete defeat is coming and sure, but not yet. Unwilling servants of our sanctification. Meaning, what happened was when the Messiah came down, he pulled the curtain. He pulled the curtain from the high priests, Sadducees, and Pharisees. So anybody who's dealing in that type of realm, he pulled the curtain. He pulled the curtain on Islam too. So our imams are in trouble, because here it is. Okay, anybody knows this. If you have family, right, and Muslims call themselves family towards each other, supposedly, right? Now we know this is not true. Just it's the same with Christians, Jews, Hindus, you name it. We all have this so-called family. Oh, well, we're family, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Kiss an egg. But we're family, and Muslims know for sure, for sure. If someone is murdering your family, it's not a thank you that can help that outcome. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody punch you in the face, you're going to do something what is called self-defense, right? As the Lord says, a tooth for a tooth, an eye for an eye. You know, now, now, if the person tries to shoot you for a kill and he hits you, but he missed you, and you had a chance and opportunity to shoot him back, you're not going to do it, right? You just might as well tell him, well, shoot me because I'm at peace with my God, right? Okay. So that person goes straight to hellfire. You never fought, nothing like that, right? Okay. Now, I tell people who have this thing of, oh, I can't fight because we're God's children. You know what? The Creator fashioned us in the womb, right? Okay. Now, we have something called white blood cells and all types of cells. What do those things do in our body? We didn't create these, by the way, right? These were created and fashioned within us. We have no real logic about that. We understand about features and functions, but we don't know where they really came from because everything comes from an atom. So where did these white cells come from? All right, these fighters in our body. So if our body have mechanisms to fight off viruses, germs, bacteria, etc., why do we not have that capability? Because we have something called fear. Now, it's not saying that I'm going to attack people. It's saying that you're going to have self-defense. The person is going to be more cautious in trying to, overthrow you, unless he just got the weapons that could do that. Then he's going to use fear tactics. We'll nuke you any day. Well, and the people be like, well, go on with it. because the whole thing is they're going to see themselves, they're going to be the ones who's going to get the worst end of the stick. Okay. So, unwitting servant of our sanctification. God intends that part of our preparation for heaven be a life of warfare with hell. What do you mean by that? He calls it a good warfare, 1 Timothy 1 and 18, and a good fight, 1 Timothy 6 and 12. It is good, not because we might be killed, which we might, Revelations 10 and 2 and 10, but because these fire fights refine the gold of our faith, 1 Peter 1 and 7, in life and death. God is the great general in this warfare, and this is why I tell people God is our king. There's nothing that can supersede the creator. Like the creator can give us ideas and understanding how to make things that we never knew where it came from. Okay. He has given us the walkie-talkie of prayer to call for help. Take the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying at all times. Ephesians 6:17 and 18. Okay. He sees behind enemy lines and knows exactly the strategies that will be used against us. He has written them down in wartime manuals so that we will not be outwit by Satan. The reason we will not be outwit is that we are not ignorant of his designs. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. But we are. Satan has grasped everybody. He has touched us all. He has smacked me in my head severely and then told me I wasn't ready for him, you know, because that's what he loves to do sometimes. Depending on who you are, he doesn't, you know, do the things. Yeah, I could have said, well, he took my wife away. Uh, he got me to act a certain way, which made her act a certain way, and you know, it just went for like that. You know how people go tit for a tat, right? Well, some people OD. You know what I'm saying? Some people OD. Okay, if you need a refresher for what those designs are, here is a summary. May God make you a mighty warrior. Train your hands for war and your fingers for battle. Psalms 144 and 1. Satan lies and his father is a lie. When he lies, he speaks according to his own nature, for he's a liar and the father of lies. John 8:44. The first time Satan appeared in the Bible in Genesis 3, the first words on his lips are suspicious of truth. That God said, you should not eat of any tree in the garden. Yeah, did y'all understand that psychology there? That, we should call that quantum psychology. Because that right there is like a word that will make your mind, that will make your mind think like, oh snap, it will make you wonder, right? Like, wait a minute. Did God say you should not eat of any tree in the garden? Like, it puts a doubt in your head. Like, the way he said it so smooth. He was like probably the best salesperson in the world. Can you imagine that? Like, if you had somebody like him selling stuff for you, oh, you'd be a multi-zillion trillionaire, right? Okay. And second words on his lips were subtle falsehood. You will not die. It's like, John says that Satan has nothing to do with truth because there is no truth in him. John 8:44, right? We are dealing with the essence of falsehood and deception. Okay. So we know that. So we're going to find out a lot of falsehoods and deceptions right now. Let me knock this out. He does also mind control. The God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers to keep them from seeing the light of the gospel, the glory of God, right? So he's not only speaks what is false, he hides what is true. He keeps us from seeing the treasures of God's book. Some people say gospel, but I'm going to tell you something about that word gospel. And I got to learn how to stop saying certain words because the gospel is really God's spell. Okay. And a spell is not a pretty thing. Okay. He lets us see facts, even proofs, but pre- not preciousness. He masquerades in costumes of light and righteousness. Did y'all hear that? That's in 2 Corinthians 11:13-15. Paul says that some people are opposing the apostles who are not. He explains like this: even Satan disguised himself as an angel of light. Was he not an angel though? And was he not an angel of light? Well, I mean, his name is Lucifer. He's the light bearer. So, I mean, it's something going on with this statement right here. And in 2 Corinthians, isn't even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light? Wait a minute. Just because he fought doesn't mean he doesn't have light. He is still called the light bearer. So it's not strange if his servants also disguise themselves as servants of righteousness. Then that's a totally different thing. Now, like when he took the Messiah to the top of the temple or the synagogue, the palencia of it, the top, the apex of it, he says, jump and I give you all this world. This world will be yours. Right? Imagine that. You know? In other words, Satan has servants, right? Who professes enough truth to join the church and from inside teaches what Paul calls doctrines of demons. And that's 1 Timothy 4:1. Jesus said they will be like wolves in sheep clothing. Matthew 7:15 and Acts 20:30 says they will not spare the flock, but will draw people away to destruction. Okay? Without God's gift of discernment, Philippians 1:9, our love will be suckered into stupidity. Do y'all understand that? These are verses I gave. Paul calls them the doctrines of demons, 1 Timothy 4:1. He said they will be like wolves in sheep clothing, Matthew 7:15. Acts 20:30 says they would not spare the flock, but will draw people away to destruction without God's gift of discernment. Okay. Also, you're talking about, we can heal our body. Everybody knows this. But who's the doctor? Who's the doctor who make people believe that because of their science and their selves, they're the ones that healed you? In some cases, took death away from you. They have in some beliefs, in some countries, they have the symbol of a doctor with the cadaver's, which is the two serpent from Egypt, or AKA, should I say, Kemet. And they have another one with the sickle, right, with death. Y'all know that symbol, right? Okay. So in 2 Thessalonians 2:9, the last days are described like this: the coming of the lawless one by the activities of Satan will be with all power and with signs and wonders of the lie. That's my awkward translation. Some translated with false signs and wonders, but this makes the signs and wonders look unreal. In fact, some people do say that Satan can only fake miracles. That's not true. He can make miracles. He can. He's Lucifer. He's the light bearer. He was an archangel. He can make miracles, y'all. And they're not even miracles. They're just straight signs. Like, okay, for miracle, we use that word a lot. Don't we not? And especially in medicine, miracles, cures, and things like that. I doubt it. Because here's the thing. If you don't believe what somebody's doing, what will happen? Nothing. Right? In some cases, it makes it worse. I doubt it. And even if it's true, his fake is going to be good enough to look real to almost everybody. See, that's a person's own ego when they say, I doubt it. One reason I doubt that Satan can only fake his miracles is that in Matthew 24:24, Jesus described the last days like this: false Christ, false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. Okay. Okay. There's no hint that these signs and wonders will be tricks, right? Let your confidence be grounded in something far deeper than any supposed inabilities of Satan to do signs and wonders. Even real signs and wonders in the service of anti Christians' assertions prove nothing, even when they are done in the name of Jesus. Lord, Lord, did we not do many mighty works in your name? See, now, let's get something straight here. We just read something, right? To which Jesus will reply, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. Now, boom, Matthew 7:22-23. Now, he just answered my question I was about to give y'all on this YouTube channel. It says, they says, Lord, Lord, did we not do many mighty works in your name? The Messiah replied, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. Did y'all get that? That's Matthew 7:22-23. Because there's people that go out there and say, in his name, in the Messiah's name. First of all, the Messiah wasn't sent, didn't come by himself, so you should be doing things in his name. And he said, I do things all in the name of who? The Most High, the Supreme Lord, Allah, Nyame, these different names. You understand what I'm saying? The Messiah did it in that name, okay? So he knows his place. He's a student to the teacher. He knows his place. All right. He's a student to the teacher. The teacher is who? You say Abi, you say Father. The teacher is who? Okay. The teacher is who? Okay. He's a student. You okay. Let me ask y'all a question like this. Let's take this to a level of where you can understand. Okay. Let's take this to a level where you can understand. Okay. You're a parent. You have a child. Can your child tell you what to do? No. But you're the guardian of that child, right? And you're going to tell that child to do things that is right that won't harm that child. Am I right or wrong? Okay. So you're not going to tell your child to go over there and jump into the pot of boiling water for all other kids to know that they shouldn't jump into this pot of boiling water because they will get severely burned and die to death, right? Would you, as a parent, do that? No, you won't. So the whole thing about what I'm saying, remember, my movement is God is King movement. It has nothing to do with, no offense, it has nothing to do with the Messiah, even though I understand if the Messiah is the prophetic seat, and the Messiah knows I'm not disrespecting entitlement right now. But he's know I'm making clarification that there is no one, no second to the one, nothing. There is just the one. So the Messiah knows. Muhammad knows this. You can't be saying the Shahada, La ilaha illallah, and Muhammad Rasulullah. I explain to you why. I'll give you just like this. There's a saying. Iyaki, right? Nesta'in, Iyaka. So basically, what I'm saying, everybody says this famous saying in Islam, right? It's called what? This, it's called what? The Fatiha, right? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Right there. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Hidana sirata mustaqim. Sirata ladhina amantaka alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. Walabdallin. Mean that part where I say Iyaka Iyaka, all right? Iyaka nesta'in. What I'm saying is that there is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. That's what I'm saying. That is our Islam. That is the deen. That is the way. What we see today, and I could tell you this is straight facts. What you see today is not Islam. It's an offshoot. It's like what Muslims say that the Christians are, what the Jews are, they are today. Why? Because you saw and we see in news, you have people like Sir Lawrence of Arabia, Sir Richard Burton, and all these different people who took Shahada, quote unquote. And here's the big thing: we are not the ones who could determine who is a submitter to Allah. That makes no perfect sense. If that's the case, then we are Allah. We could say, oh, you take the Shahada, you are Allah. What is the Shahada? It's an oath. But it is Allah that makes us Muslim. He calls to who he wants. And then there's a division in that. There's Muslim, Muslimin, and Mu'mineen. Mu'mineen are believers. It's like I believe in everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given on this whole planet. So like me and the whole group of people who I'm talking to, and we're going to live by what is called the 7 laws of Noah, right? Can't go wrong with that, right? The laws of Noah, okay? And it's the same almost as any of them, even people who are into all types, mostly every belief can understand and relate to that law, okay? So when I said that Yanaka, Nesta'in, that's it, okay? That's it. You notice there is nothing when you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It doesn't say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and Muhammad Rasulullah. It doesn't say that. It goes Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina amtak alaihim. Ghairil maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amen. See, Amen, Amen. That's another thing that comes from people can say, I can relate to that because that comes from Kemet. And Kemet people can relate to that. They shouldn't have nothing to say about that. But my whole thing is, even in Hindu, they cannot say nothing to that as well. So this is the beauty of Islam. But like I just showed you here, it says, Lord, Lord, did we not do many mighty works in your name? He's going to discredit them. Who? What we call Jesus. It's going to, a lot of things going to say. I never knew you. Wait a minute. If I'm doing things in your name and then you blast me like that, well, I never knew you. Depart from me. You're workers of lawlessness. The problem was not in the signs and wonders, weren't real, but they were in the service of sin. You know? This is what he did unsuccessful to the Messiah in the wilderness. Y'all remember that? The 40 days and 40 nights? Okay. He wanted him to abandon the path and suffer in obedience. Okay? That's what he wanted him to do. Join that. So that's Matthew 4, 1 through 11. This is what he did successfully to Judas in the last hours of Jesus' life. Luke 22 to 3 to 6. Now, I'm going to give you something about Judas. Okay. Who picked the disciples? The Messiah, right? Now, you're going to tell me that once again, the Creator who's watching over all this got these angels just all around him. You don't even see them. Trust me, they're around him. And he picked Judas. Why he picked Judas? I'm gonna tell y'all why he picked Judas and why it had to go to where it was going. And thank you, Philippine people, for y'all fanatic belief. And I don't mean that by disrespecting y'all, but y'all the only ones that I knew of. Maybe there's others that go through the crucifixion thing, and y'all really get it in. Y'all put in your work, as we say. You put in that work. And from y'all doing what y'all doing, and some I even think I saw some do a spear thing, a real spear into the side. And the thing about all of that is that the Creator never forsaken the Messiah. So this Lucifer and his cahoots, which are supposed to be the righteous ones, and saying they did things and mighty works in the name of the Lord, Lord, they talking about the Creator, they talking about Yahweh, right? Because Jews today don't believe the Messiah came. So they talking about Yahweh, right? Okay. Um, so we say, as Muslims, surely he didn't die because the creators are not about human sacrifices. That's something you read about when you want to know about human sacrifices. You read that about a lot about Satan, right? So why would the creator do something that Satan does? Oops, I'm just saying. I'm just saying though. Trans sub subjun subjutation, taking the blood and the flesh, transforming it from bread and grape juice to blood and flesh and eating it? Let me ask y'all a question though. Be honest with that. Where did you ever hear that in the scriptures that you should eat flesh and blood, or you should even fantasize it as a concept in your brain? Do you know something? As a man thinketh, so shall it be. They say if you look at a woman with a Dutch's eyes, surely you have committed fornication. So it's better to pluck it out than go to hell. So imagine that. Just imagine. That's like, hi, honey, I'm home. That's another Johnny episode. So, we have to understand that Judas was the one to expose the Pharisees, Sadducees, and high priests. And he's exposing that same things going on today. This is why a lot of people, when they have a chance, they're not into Christianity, they're not into Judaism, they're not into Islam. And the reason why they're not is because all of these big ones had broken off, and people was like, I don't want to hear nothing about the Creator. Thank y'all for doing y'all work. That's why he says, I know y'all not. I know none of y'all not. Because if that was the case, there will not be no starving people in your pastors, in your churches, in your synagogues, in your temples. Because number one, y'all get money like that. That don't go to God, because that's a lie. Because God don't need the damn money, because the money ain't nothing anyhow in the first place. It's a human invention that means squiddy squat. It's about power and control over people using a doggone medium, using spellcast and all types of stuff. Come on, don't play with the kid. We got your number already. And y'all about to get it by the Most High. It's coming. Coming for y'all. Y'all think not. Talking about, hey, yeah, we going to beat them. All right, we're going to sit here. We all going to watch this glorious day, okay, together. Me and you. I know you got a promise on that. So we're going to watch this together. And Satan plucks the words of God out of people's hearts and chokes their faith. That's 100%. You know, Jesus told the parable of four souls in Mark 4 and 1 and 9. That's the one about the seeds, throwing the seeds all over the place. Okay, the seed of the word of God is sown, and some fall on the path, and birds quickly take it away. He explains in verse 15, Satan immediately comes and takes away the word which was sown in them. Satan snatches the word because he hates faith, which the word produces. That's Romans 10 and 17. So These are different seeds. So the Messiah is the seed, and he's storing them here and there. First of all, he's not the Messiah. He was God, just showing you farmers in different techniques. If you throw it, it is allegorical, and it could be physical as far as learning how to farm. You know, not to throw seeds and thorns and rocks and all of this, right? You look for good soil. You take your time, and this is birds come snatch it, eat it, whatever, like this, right? Paul expresses concern for faithful Thessalonians like this. I sent to learn about your faith, for fear that somehow the tempter has tempted you and our labors will be in vain. How do he say that? Who is he talking about? He's talking about Satan. He said, I sent to learn about your faith. I sent to learn about your faith. 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 For fear that somehow the temper had tempted you and our labors will be in vain. Paul knew that Satan's designs to choke off the faithful people who have heard the word of God. And that's what he have done wonderfully. And people want to read that part. That's First Thessalonians 3 and 5. Now, this get back into the doctor thing. Of course, we know that the Messiah is that diggity doctor. He can heal. Okay. So he was criticized, called, because they say he was healing people on the Sabbath. You don't do that. Out, not this woman, a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan bound for 18 years. Be loosed from this bond on the Sabbath day. Luke 13:16. Jesus saw Satan as the one who had caused this disease. In Act 10:38, Peter described Jesus as one who went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil. Now, that might not be talking about sickness. That's sickness like we have a sick mindset. Because if we see what's going on, we supposed to come together. And am I right or wrong? But since we are oppressed by who? By the devil. In other words, the devil often oppresses people with illness. What illness we have? A sick mind. This is too is one of his designs. Okay, we have a sick mind, people. Now, let us continue this.
I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question. You snotty little bastard. Your Honor, I'd like
You
to
ready?
You snotty little bastard. Your Honor, you snotty little bastard. You snotty little bastard. You snotty little bastard. Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. Did you order the code red?
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. 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 Truth. You can't handle the. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Are y'all
You
ready?
can't handle the truth.
All right, we going, y'all. Are y'all sure about that? Y'all sure y'all ready for this truth? All right. So let's look at some truths. Okay, now that we know about that with Satan, okay, we're going to hear something else. Now, this is about a quick 9 minutes. And I'm going to see what we can do about that. Okay. So this is kind of quick 9 minutes, and this is about a broadcast of different things.
It's been a long time coming. But tonight, because of what we did on this day, in this election, at this defining moment, change has come to America.
That's right. Change has come. Y'all remember that? Happy as Stevie Wonder could see right there.
Let me say one thing about choice. There is no real choice. They say freedom of choice. You're given an illusion of choice. Americans are meant to feel free by the exercise of meaningless choices.
And we will make America great again.
And when we do, America will be greater than ever.
But here in America, where there's supposed to be free choice, there's less choice. If Americans ever come to the conclusion that there's not much difference between Republicans and Democrats, and they never include alternative choices in the coverage, the Americans really aren't exposed to a true choice. So we really have to fight.
Former CIA operative, head of the bin Laden tracking unit, Michael Shore. Michael, both the British and the United States have reportedly made it very clear to Israel they would prefer that there be no military action taken.
This is
What are your
against
thoughts?
Iran,
Well,
by the way,
at
y'all.
least in the United States, we're pretty helpless.
So
If the
we
Israelis
hitting it on some
detect
other stuff.
Iran, the power of AIPAC and the lobby here, they own the Congress, will lead to
So
our
we hitting
support
some
for whatever
others.
the Israelis do, I think.
Well, every candidate for Congress at that time had a pledge. They were given a pledge to sign. And I was new on the scene. And so the pledge had Jerusalem as the capital city.
Eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
The military superiority of Israel.
American Congress people have to sign this pledge.
Yes, you sign the pledge. If you don't sign the pledge, you don't get money. So, for example, it was almost like water torture for me. My parents observed this. I would get a call, and the person on the other end of the phone would say, I want to do a fundraiser for you. And then we would get into the planning. I would get really excited because, of course, you have to have money in order to run a campaign. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the planning, they would say, did you sign the pledge? And then I would say, no, I didn't sign the pledge. And then my fundraiser would go kaput.
Can't have it.
Can't have it. I said, you said you have some grudges. Who are your grudges against?
Well, number one, and my wife constantly reminds me to tone down. I brought that guy back from Israel, John Deming. It was my Freedom of Information Act, which proved not only that he was innocent, but who Ivan really was. The case was so sensitive, members of Congress would say, Jim, I love you, but please don't involve me. I sent my evidence to the Sixth Circuit Court in Cincinnati. They wouldn't accept it. I finally sent it over to Israel, to the Israeli Supreme Court, and they called me over there, and I went with the family. I did a live interview, satellite, with Brian Gumbel, and I said, when they put this innocent man to death, they're going to lose $15 to $20 billion every year they get from the American taxpayers. And Brian Gumbel says, what are you talking about? They only get $3 billion. And I said, Brian, that's only the foreign aid bill. Look at all the other trade compacts, economic assistance, military assistance. I'm saying this to you right now. Israel gets approximately $15 billion a year from the American taxpayers. That $15 billion is $30,000 for every man, woman, and child. And people in my district are losing their pension benefits. So I was targeted big time.
By the Israelis.
The Israeli Supreme Court looked at the evidence, could not refute it. And it came from the Justice Department there. And they said, take him home. I brought him home, and he was bombarded ever since.
Home to Ohio.
Now he's in Germany fighting for his life. Now let me say this. Prosecutor Moskowitz of the OSI office of the United States Justice Department suborned perjury with Otto Horn. The documents clearly state who Ivan the Terrible was, Ivan Marchenko, not Deming. And they had to release him. And now they can't live with it. They couldn't live with Jim trafficking, having beaten him in 1983. I was a walking symbol of defiance. And now they have this man in Germany. And if someone doesn't look into this, the American people should be ashamed of themselves. When you allow one American to be violated, you threaten the freedoms of every American. And I can't understand this, why no one in Congress is raising their voice. And the reason is very simple. This may be you don't want to hear. I don't know. And I certainly don't want to hurt you on your show. You have one of the best yourself. But I believe that Israel has a powerful stranglehold on the American government. They control both members of the House and the Senate. They have us involved in wars in which we have little or no interest. Our children are coming back in body bags. The nation is bankrupt over these wars, and if you open your mouth, you get targeted. And if they don't beat you at the poll, they'll put you in prison.
Explain to me what you see as, why you target or why you have a grudge against the Israelis.
The grudge is not necessarily a grudge. It's an objective assessment that no one will have the courage to speak about. They're controlling much of our foreign policy. They're influencing much of our domestic policy. Wolfowitz, as Undersecretary of Defense, manipulated President Bush #2 back into Iraq. They pushed definitely to try and get Bush before he left to move into Iran. We're conducting an expansionist policy of Israel, and everybody's afraid to say it. They control much of the media, they control much of the commerce of the country, and they control powerfully both bodies of the Congress. They own the Congress.
Are you an anti-Semite?
No, I'm not. That's exactly what they're going to say, and I expect that. What I am is an American. You see, I think America comes first, and we have a one-sided foreign policy in the Mideast, and we've alienated Arabs who have no way of fighting. So what they've done, and I predicted this on the House floor, is they would export violence to America, and they have. They have no other way to fight. Greta, I'm saying this. America is in danger if America doesn't take back the government without foreign influence.
I went into the State Department Near East section and found there was not one single Palestinian, not one single Muslim, religious, Saudi, Jordanian, not one Christian Protestant, not one Roman Catholic, not one plain old American, whatever, from corn punk. Every single person in all of those offices were either Zionists, Israelis, whatever, and they had pictures all over the wall. Israel, Israel, Israel. They had magazines, Israel Today. I was given a copy of one. And there were yarmulkes, and the Israeli writing. In other words, and I asked one of the women after having gone through about, 4 or 5 of these offices, I said, because I was pretending like I really, I was just kind of wanting to know where the Palestinians were.
I want the truth!
She said, well,
You can't handle the truth!
we can't.
And this is the State Department. The truth! You can't handle the truth! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The distinct honor of presenting to you the Prime Minister of Israel, His Excellency Benjamin Netanyahu.
The world has gone mad. There is no morals, there is no loyalty, there is no nothing.
Hey everyone, this is Spiro over here on Flight Radar 24. Got some tips earlier about a Russian Air Force jet that had been flying around U.S. airspace around Southern California, Nevada, flying over Las Vegas. As you can see here, it's just leaving Hawaii, and it looks like it's heading back towards the mainland U.S. at this point in time. Now, if you come through here and look, This is today's date right here, December 4th, 20 registration number right here was flying all through there. Now, come right here. Here's another look at one of the flight trackers on Twitter here, Civ Mill Air. And I had someone give me a list here. Nick Morris, much love for sending this, brother. Russian plane has flown over military bases, flew over Nellis, flew over Fort Irwin, Edwards Air Force Base, Naval Weapons Station SEAL Base.
On behalf of Ambassador Kelly and the entire U.S. delegation, I'm delighted to join you for the second review conference for the Treaty on Open Skies. We need to work together to broaden our commitments and transparency with all our military forces. And the Open Skies Treaty is one of our most valuable tools for fulfilling this task. And it certainly
Hey, so I hope y'all ready for what I'm about to hit y'all with again. And I just want to know, I just want to know, I'm about to hit y'all again. And I hope y'all.
You want answers. I want the truth. I think I'm entitled. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I'm entitled. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Son, we live.
There you all go. Y'all ready? Are y'all really ready for this? All right. Let's go. This is the Open Skies Treaty. This has to do with Russian airplanes flying over our airspace, taking pictures of most of all of our military compounds or facilities, base divisions, everything, and vice versa. Now think about that. Now, when I was young, I read about a famous city called Troy. And I read about the famous gift that they gave Troy, which was the Trojan horse. Now, there is somebody that is superseding all of these governments, right? That created this thing called the Open Skies Treaty. A damn treaty, right? And what I could tell y'all they are doing, and this is simple, they are making agreements on what states you can bomb, how many people you can kill, and what land can be wrecked, and this is what's going to go on. So we're going to listen for 1 minute and 20 minutes by our wonderful Al Market. They call her Maya Kalites. Is Hillary Clinton.
On behalf of Ambassador Kelly and the entire U.S. delegation, I'm delighted to join you for the second review conference for the Treaty on Open Skies. We need to work together to broaden our commitments and transparency with all our military forces. And the Open Skies Treaty is one of our most valuable tools for fulfilling this task, and it serves the security of its members and all OSCE participating states, from Canada to Croatia and throughout Europe. The Open Skies Treaty has successfully led to more than 670 observation flights. These flights would not have been possible without the dedication of all of you and your colleagues on the flight lines. We must build on this successful treaty to chart a new course and prepare to design the next generation of the treaty. We're mindful that budget constraints affect all of us. So we want to work with you to find cost-effective solutions to ensure that all parties can transition to digital sensors. As chair of this conference, the United States remains firmly committed to this treaty's continued success. We look forward to working with each of you to ensure that this vital instrument for openness and cooperation remains effective for years to come. Thank you very much.
That was her, okay, giving us about some the Open Sky Treaty. So basically, what is this Open Sky Treaty, right? Let's see if somebody got it. Let's look. All right, so y'all just seen Open Skies right there. Y'all just seen that, right? So I know most of y'all like, what in the world does that have to do with me, right? Well, you know, as I say again,
Live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
all right. So, or y'all think y'all ready for this? Okay, so let's go with our brother.
But within that philosophy was something else both men always taught: the integrity of the individual. And the integrity of the individual refused, in my case, to accept lies, such as Benny Goodman is the king of swing, and Duke Ellington must have been the emperor of swing. Chick Webb, having taught Gene Krupa, I was told that Gene Krupa is the best on the drum, but he went to Chick Webb to get to be the best on the drum. I don't know if you know Chick Webb, you know Ella Fitzgerald. Chick taught her. I just throw that in to show you that the lie doesn't stop in ancient time. It continues up to today.
That was our brother, Dr. Ben, that says that lies does not stop today. I mean, in the ancient days, right? It continued.
Answers. I want the truth. You can't want answers. I think I'm entitled. You want answers. I want the truth. You entitled. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I want the truth.
Do y'all really want the truth? All right, let's go. So we're about to go to the truth right now. All right. So let's go with the truth. Let's go with the truth, y'all. Are y'all ready for this? Here's the truth. What that says. Russian military planes will fly over the U.S. to what? To take what? Pictures, and that's totally okay. Why is that? Y'all just heard that Open Skies Treaty allows U.S. and Canada to what? To overfly Russia. Now look at this. You would think that's a regular plane, right? Look at that plane. A regular old plane. That's that right there, y'all. See that's it was a treaty. A treaty. All right. So y'all sure y'all ready to handle the truth? Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Y'all are y'all ready for this? Now let's get in. Let's get in. All right. Let's get in. Let's get in. All right, because I'm about to get in here. All right. Let's get into this. I'm about to get into this right here. Let's get in right here. Right now. All right. Let's go. You know. As soon as this thing stop turning, let's go. All right. Let's go. All right. Let's get into this. All right. Let's do this. Okay, because we're gonna go into something. Mm-hmm. Like we gonna go into it. We about to get into it. All right. We gonna get into it. Here it goes. Here we go.
Thank you very much. After such a great introduction,
Right.
I can't wait to hear the speaker myself.
Right.
Let me also say I have an admission to make. I have to confess
Here we go.
New York Magazine voted me as one of the most 100 smartest people in New York. However, in all fairness, I have to say that Madonna also made that same list. So, how accurate could that list be? Yes. He said, maybe the spirit of justice. Yes, justice and mercy. She shall mean. This means that by 2020, computer chips will cost about a penny. That's the cost of scrap paper of Rome. It's such a big up to whoever else's attention there is. Well, in the future, we'll have e-paper. You'll simply scroll out paper, which is intelligent, and you'll type on that sheet of paper. So your cell phone is an entire PC. In fact, it has more power than a supercomputer of today. Screen, mirror, mirror on the wall. We want to see Casablanca, except remove Humphrey Bogart's face. Kenneth is female. 51%.
Okay,
but
here we go.
realize that when the internet was first created by we physicists,
Here we go.
it was male. It was hierarchical. It was to dominate.
All right. All right, y'all. Here we go. So, of course, you know,
You can't handle the truth. Answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right. Let's see why we can't handle this truth right now. So we're back to him. Okay, great. Ready?
State over the Soviet Union. Why did the Pentagon give us millions of dollars to create the internet? It wasn't so that you could email your friends. That's not why we physicists created the internet. It was created to dominate a nuclear war with.
Did y'all just hear that? Wait a minute. Did he just say that?
Russia, so we can communicate and rebuild America after New York City is in ruins, Los Angeles, Chicago are vaporized. That's how we're going to recreate America after World War III.
Now, what? Wait a minute. Did y'all really get that? Did did y'all really get that? He said after New York City is in ruins, Chicago is vaporized, and Los Angeles vaporized, right? So they had something. They had something, and this was in New Jersey. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to a footage of someone else who was looking at this, all right, which is good for me because I can't always do it. By the way, y'all, this is Gotham Shield.
Clifton Heights EMS, New Jersey EMS Task Force Police.
Don't go there.
New Brunswick, CST.
Hey, Dad. Good.
So what is going on here, y'all?
These are the tents.
This is the practice
There's MetLife Stadium here.
of the Gotham Shield.
Cops over there. See the cones over there? That looks like the medevac area. There's the line of ambulances coming in for staging.
This is Gotham Shield, by the way. I just want y'all to know that. That's what it's showing. Gotham Shield. So let us say something. Let's speed this up a little bit.
Shit. That's my thing. That fucking tag flew right off. You gotta be kidding.
Alright. So basically what that is that was a dude who showed a little bit of Gotham Shield that was practiced on what's today? This is June. What's that? That wasn't last month. That was on the 24th. Now, I done showed y'all many of things. So, once again, I have to ask the question, you know.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
All right. So that was the end of that. You can't handle the truth. He wanted the truth. We can't handle the truth. The reason why we can't handle the truth is because here's another thing that I also wanted to show people is this right here are jobs that are mostly at risk based on the study. And what they mean by this is replaced it by automation. Let's bring it down by automation, the percentage. So here are the percentage of those jobs that will be placed it by automation. So the ones up top is the ones that they're going to be looking for. Right up here, it's going to be replaced it by automation. So loan officers, receptionists, information clerks, paralegals and legal assistants, retail salesperson, taxi drivers and chauffeurs, security guards. Wow. So, wow. Cooks, fast food, bartenders, personal financial advisors. Now, wow, personal financial advisors. Wow. Reporters, and correspondents. Then this is what they talk about forced news. They're going to try to swing. But that's at a small realm. Musicians and singers is still there, and lawyers to a degree. Now, when you look at the chart, the biggest ones, this way over here, this is 98%. So 98%, that means only 2% is going to be left as loan officer. So you don't want to go to school to become this. Receptionists and information clerks. It's 96%. So you don't want to school do that. You don't want to do that. Paralegals and legal assistants is at 94. So that's going to be done. Retail salespersons is 92. Taxi drivers and chauffeurs and transportation people, that's at 89. Security guards. What? 84. Cooks in fast food restaurants, we know McDonald's and all of them, that's 81. Bartenders. Shoot. If a bar don't have to pay a bartender, hell, shit. That's at 77. Personal financial advisors is at 58. Now, hold on. Let's stop there because I wanted to look at something real quick, right? When it came to that. I want to look at something real quick. So I put this over here for y'all to see that. Anybody familiar with BlackRock? Okay, so let's look at BlackRock is so we're gonna go to a company that many of us, if you into stocks, you would know about this company. Okay. All right, so I gotta cut that one out. That damn thing bust my eardrum. Okay, so here's BlackRock, right? It says robots are replacing humans at all these Wall Street firms. Okay, so let's go down the list because I want to make sure that I'm right about this. All right, now BlackRock isn't the only Wall Street investors laying off humans, stock pickers, and replacing them with robots. The world's biggest money managers on Tuesday announced that it would cut more than 40 jobs, replacing some of its human profile, right? Managers with artificial intelligence, computerized stock trading algorithm. Research, after all, has shown that active stock pickers generally underperforms the wider stock market, leading customers to balk at the high fees those managers charge. Sounds like the rich want to control everything and basically force people out. So now they want to throw the money at you, right? The layoffs are due to automations or a industrial-wide shift by 2025. That's not too long, right? Because this is 2017. How many years is that, people? You do the math. That's less than 10 years. Financial institutions will reduce their human workforce by 10%, resulting in roughly 230,000 few heads. Now, where are these people going to go? Right? Where are these people going to go? Okay. As computers take their place, the financial service consultant Optimus estimated in the recent reports of those displaced jobs, 40% are expected to come from the money management. You see that? Money management. Y'all see that? Right? Up here it goes. You see what it says? The general underperform wider stock markets, leading customers to balk at a high fee these managers charge. Investors are increasing, seeking cheaper options such as exchange traded funds. There's what you call ETFs. That's like Vanguard and Capital One 360. These things. Capital One took over ING, so it's like that. Some which are managed by computers, a trend that helped push BlackRock assets under management above 5 trillion for the first time recently. So you tell me, y'all. You tell me what's going on, and that's that right there. This is in that's in that one, right? But a lot of people's doing that, huh? You tell me. You tell me. AI, you tell me. Watch this one. They try to say that, okay, y'all, this is McDonald's. Okay. What's McDonald's saying? Okay. So here we have former.
You don't have to look too far around here to find greatness. Meet Edna Mitchell. She's 88 and still likes to drive an ambulance.
All right. So we're going to look at this right here, right? It says former McDonald's USA CEO, robots to replace people in the service industrial going forward. So how are they doing that? The first thing they are doing is bringing in these Clico machines, right? It says, I want y'all to look at this. It says, faced with rising labor costs, right? Fast food giant Wendy's, right, has announced a plan to replace employees with self-ordering Costco and 1,000 stores by the end of the year. Former McDonald US, see that CEO Ed Risen said, Wendy's move is a direct response to the push for what? A minimum wage increase to $15 an hour. So you're going to get rid of people. He's a CEO, so he's making millions of dollars. He's going to get rid of people because somebody who's a labor force worker by wage, right, is going to kill them for $15 an hour just for wanting $15 an hour. And he believes automation is here to stay. He doesn't believe it, first of all. It's not belief, it's real. No questions about it. No questions about it. So here they go with all of this. It's not only, look at this, it's not only minimum wages, it's the work rules, it's the joint employment requirements. Now the franchises are responsible for the labor practice of franchise. It's all nonsense. It's over regulations. No, it's not. It's over them wanting to make the ones poor. That's it. That's it. Now, this is it for me right now. This is your host, Satagura, Lambert C. Davenport, and y'all all know that I'm the one that is God is King's movement, MVMT at gmail.com. Holla at a brother, and let's get this popping. I need at least 300 God fearing people. And when I say that, because here's the deal, Satan attacks us. If you black, y'all heard of the Willie Lynch. So y'all know fear, distrust, and envy. So he attacks us with this. Fear will make you not do anything. Distrust, you definitely don't have unity. You can't have distrust. There is no unity. There's no sense of unity. And envy, oh, why he got that and I didn't get it. And you know how we talk. We talk that childish stuff. But meanwhile, everything's changing. Oh, talk to the Congress because of this and this and that. No, 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 no. God is here. God is telling y'all to come together, to join together, to start to trust each other, to work together. You see these things, the Manchester attacks and all this stuff, and they want to go to war and all of this stuff. And you know, a lot of this is AI. This is artificial intelligence right in our face. This is a virtual reality. This is augmented reality. There's a lot of things. This is psych ops like a motherfucker. This is psych ops, people. But this is your man, Satagura, giving you the true teacher's knowledge. Do not be afraid. You know, hold on to your shield, sword, armor, put on all of that in the name of the Creator, because you're going to need it. And I'm talking about that mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's wartime. Peace.